So when setting up an EPA, the first thing to establish is if the work surface is ESD-safe. So what we're going to do is just check point to point across the surface to see what the resistance is. If you use our SRM 100, on the back of it there's these two probes. So you can just simply place it down. And as we can see here, this falls within the static dissipative range. So we've established that the work surface is static dissipative, so the point-to-point resistance falls lower than 1 gigohm, or 1 times 10 to the power of 9 ohms. So what we're going to do next is ensure that it's grounded, because it's no good simply having a static dissipative surface if there's nowhere for the static to go to. So we're going to ensure that it's grounded correctly. The way that we do this is you put one probe onto the work surface. Now, for the sake of this video, I'm simply going to use this plug socket here, but you would usually use a separate grounding point just to make sure that there is a path to earth. So here I can use my one weight and just check the resistance to ground, ensuring you're not touching the probes on the back. So as you can see, it's in the static dissipative range. That's resistance to ground. So according to the standard, the surface resistance to ground of all work surfaces, shelves, racking, needs to be less than a gigohm, less than 1 times 10 to the power of 9. So what we're going to do next is, one of the common questions that we often get is whether you actually need to put a bench mat onto a work surface. If the work surface is grounded, according to the standard, the answer is no. The reason why a lot of people would add a bench mat to a grounded work surface is because the work surface itself, whilst it's quite hard, if you're cutting on it, soldering on it over the years, it can become damaged and not visually look as pleasing. So what we're going to do is just add an ESD bench mat to the surface for some protection. Okay, so now we've got the ESD bench mat on here. I often get asked the question, do we need to add cords to the corner of the bench mat? Now in this case, because we've already established the work surface is grounded and it's ESD safe and compliant with the standard, because the back of this mat is conductive, it will ground automatically through the workbench's grounding. If this wasn't an ESD work surface underneath and you were wanting to use it inside an electrostatic protected area, then what you can do is add a grounding point to the corner of the mat and then use a grounding cable. And then you would have a perfectly safe ESD work surface. So even if underneath is not ESD compliant and it's just a normal laminate worktop, once you add an ESD bench mat over the top, it becomes ESD safe, as long as it has a conductive back. And we can then test this work surface with exactly the same test procedure as before. So we add one weight to the work surface, and then we are going to just check to ground. And I don't know if you can see it from there, but that falls within the static dissipative range. And it would read exactly the same even if we were, even if the bench underneath wasn't ESD safe.